This is officially the biggest draft weekend of the fantasy season. So in this video, I wanted to share 4 players I'm betting my season on. 2 of them probably going to have season-ending injuries. 2 of them will be dog shit. These are the players that I've laid my stake in, man. I've already drafted 3 of these guys in my main league. So some quick housekeeping, man. Starting next week, you guys can expect some videos about waiver wires, trade targets, players we're panicked about, player analysis videos. I love making videos about like individual players and like just breaking down the tape and stuff like that. So I hope you guys stick around, man. I'm Ron from Never Lucky. We know ball. We just have 0 luck here. Let's get into this video. The first name on this list is going to be Matthew Golden, somebody that I've already drafted. I've reached for this man several rounds. He's currently going 91 on NFFC ADP. This is your high stake ADP, man. This is your like $3,000 buy-in league. These are like the super sharps. This is how they're drafting. They're taking him at 91 overall. And on ESPN, he's going 88, 97 on Sleeper, and 121 on NFL. So if you're on NFL, massive value. You can get this dude in the 9th, 8th round. He's going way later in NFL. You can get him a little bit out of value in Sleeper. And then on ESPN, you can get him a -3. I think, in my opinion, it's really good to see how the experts are drafting, compare it to our home leagues. Then you can find some values, right? You can find the guys who the experts love, but are casual, fat fathers and fucking teachers. Like, these guys just aren't, hooked up to fantasy. So as I mentioned, man, I've already drafted Golden in my main leagues. I'm going to be talking about this man all season. So if you drafted him as well, dude, subscribe, dude, stick around. I'm going to be ranting about a lot of these players that I'm talking about. So if you want to follow these guys along, I might be talking about how we can trade them or move them if they're not panning out, how we can improve ourselves. So let's talk about Golden, man. The entire Packers wide receiver room is injured at the moment. Christian Watson just got injured since I started recording this. 4.29 40-yard speed. Devon Achane levels of speed, dude. 4.29. I'm going to say that again. 99th percentile speed score. That's like Tyreek Hill, Devon Achane. The dude's an absolute speed demon. The Packers offense, just to give you guys a little more context, they want to run the ball. They're a run-first offense, but when they do throw it, they throw it deep. They have one of the highest intended air yards, so 5th in intended air yards per attempt, but bottom 5 in total pass attempts. So that's kind of the concern, that Golden might not be like a high-volume guy, but I think he's going to be their big play guy. He's going to be their speed demon, downfield guy. The entire fucking team is injured, man. As I mentioned already. Everyone on the Packers is injured. Romeo Doubs like the only healthy guy. Wicks is injured at the moment. Christian Watson just, had a bowl of cereal and got injured again. That means Matthew Golden should slot in to be the 1A guy for this team, man. Jordan Love has an 80.1 PFF grade on deep passes. And as I already mentioned, that, intended air yards, they want to do play action. They want to throw deep. It's going to be Josh Jacobs. It's going to be Matthew Golden on deep bombs, and it's going to be Romeo Doubs in the red zone and in the end zone. He's like their big end zone guy. Wicks might get a little play, but, the man has small hands, stone hands. Like, he can't catch a cold. So this is a team, man, that is essentially just like begging for a deep threat. Christian Watson was supposed to be that guy, but he just had his 3rd injury since I started recording this video. So the Packers want to do 2 things in this world, man. It's run the ball and take deep shots. Pause. So Matthew Golden is somebody, man, where you can get him in like the 9th round, as I mentioned. You get him in the 8th round. I reached for him and I got him in the 7th round in my home league. Everyone was, calling me gay, calling me dumb. They said I'm bad at fantasy. But doesn't matter, dude. You glance the blows and you just continue, dude. This is my guy. I'm in on Matthew Golden. And the next player on this list is Josh Downs. Dude, the fact that I'm staking my reputation on long neck ass Daniel Jones as the starting quarterback, it's asking for disaster. What turtleneck size does Daniel Jones wear? Is he like a medium on the bottom, XL on the top? Does he have to order a fucking gradient turtleneck, man? Like, oh man. So Josh Downs, 96 NFC ADP. 133 on ESPN, 104 on Sleeper, and 137 on NFL. He's being drafted in the 11th plus round at the moment. And we're forgetting something, man. Josh Downs. This is a tweet that I made months ago, guys. Top 10 in targets per route run at 27.5 and 2.2 yards per route run, which is better than Amon-Ra St. Brown. These are 2 efficiency metrics where we want to look at how good a wide receiver is in a vacuum. So how many yards do they accrue per route that they're running? And then how many targets are they getting per route that they run? So those are 2 metrics that we want to know. When he's out there, is he running routes? Is he gaining yardage? Is he gaining fantasy points, right? So I think Josh Downs, like, just from a profile point of view, from a purely skill point of view, one of the better wide receivers in the NFL. You guys can see here, Matt Harmon does reception perception. If you guys don't know him, he's one of the better wide receiver gurus, on the internet. Josh Downs has a 76.7% success rate versus man, 86% versus zone, and 77% versus press. Across the board, success against all defensive coverages. Josh Downs, one of the better per pound wide receivers in the NFL. Now, the issue with Josh Downs, the reason that we're low on him is that you have Michael Pittman. You have Tyler Warner now, who's drafted in the top 20, right, in the NFL draft. and he looks to be a full-time starter. He looks to be a receiving weapon for this team. He was a big-time receiving weapon in college. So is there going to be enough meat to go around? Now, the reason I'm high on Josh Downs, the reason I'm staking my season on this man is that last year, Daniel Jones had one of the lowest ADOTs in the NFL, 28th in the NFL in ADOT, average depth of his throws. I don't know if you guys remember, but Wan'Dale Robinson last year had 140 targets as the slot player for the Giants. One of the most highly targeted, least productive players in the entire NFL. I don't know how the man just was continuing to get targets. He'd do nothing with them. He'd literally catch the ball and run backwards. But Josh Downs is going to be in this role. Josh Downs is 3 times the talent Wan'Dale Robinson is, or was, or ever will be. And Josh Downs, not only does he play short, he also is kind of like a deep slot for this Colts team very often. Michael Pittman's your close to the line of scrimmage. He's your short yardage guy. They want to use him on intermediate routes. Tyler Warren probably commands some of the short yardage stuff as well, maybe the intermediate as well, kind of like a Travis Kelce. But Josh Downs is going to be their gadget guy. They're going to use him out of the slot, but he's going to be all over the field, man. His route tree is very, very varied. Very varied. So the Colts have a favorable schedule, man. 12th easiest schedule for wide receivers in the NFL. I think they're going to be a better team. I think Daniel Jones gives them a little bit of regularity or a little bit of normalcy. He's not this he's not a gunslinger with Anthony Richardson. He's not going to steal touchdowns on the goal line. He's not going to throw 3 picks in a game. I mean, he can probably throw 3 picks in a game with that long ass neck, dude. He can throw 5 picks in a game. But I love Josh Downs. He's one of my favorite players in all of fantasy football. You can get him so late, and he's just such a talent, dude. He's one of those guys where if his volume goes up, so on an efficiency metric, he's a league-winning wide receiver. I did a video last week about league-winning wide receivers. From an efficiency point of view, league winner. He just needs the volume. That's the formula, right? Is he talented? So he's got like an 84 PFF grade last season in 2024, which puts him in like the top 10. So he's talented. He's efficient on his touches. He gets targeted often on his routes. He just needs to run more routes, and the team just needs to pass the ball a little bit more. I think they're going to do both of those things because Daniel Jones now there. It's not going to be Richardson who throws the ball, 11 times a game. So I'm super excited, man. I have a full video about him in the last one called my league winner videos. I break it down a little bit deeper, but I'm in. If you guys are in, make sure to follow along, dude. We're going to talk about Josh Downs this entire season. And now I move on to Rome Odunze, the next player on this list. Listen, I had a dream about Rome Odunze. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. Last night I had a dream that he scored 2 touchdowns in week 1. And I was pissed off because my fucking friend, who I gifted my draft guide to, drafted Rome Odunze in like the 5th round. Right before my pick, he sniped me. And look, man, my dreams sometimes come true. When it comes to fantasy football, every now and then I'll have a dream. I'll go place a fucking bet on Bet365 or Tipico, or those are the apps we have here in Germany where I live. And every now and then it comes through true, man. I'm like fat Nostradamus or something, dude. So I don't know. Take that for what you will. But anyway, let's talk about it. 63 overall on NFC ADP. He's going 75 on ESPN, 80 on Sleeper, and 92 on NFL. Across the board, he's at a value. The experts love him a lot more than we do. They're taking him in like the 5th round. Everyone else taking him about the 7th, 8th, 9th round, right? So use that, based on whatever platform you guys are in. Make sure you guys utilize that and take advantage of that. And in 2024, he was wide receiver 57 on a points per game basis. It's not looking great, bro. I understand the concerns, man. Wide receiver 57 in his rookie year. It was a down year. We're going to have a look at of Rome Odunze just to show you guys that he is a talented wide receiver. Even though he absolutely just like breaks that man's ankles, fucking hits him with the Greg Jennings, hold my dick. Like the nice little inside, dude, he's 6'3". Keep in mind, man, this man is 6'3". So the fact that he can move this way as a 6'3" wide receiver, you got to be excited about that, bro. He's not just like a fucking Xavier Leggett, right? He is a true 6'3", 215 alpha archetype, dude. Most end zone targets by a rookie wide receiver since 2015. DK Metcalf at number 1 with 20. Marvin Harrison Jr. 19. And Odunze at 16, bro. 3rd out of all rookies since 2015 in end zone targets. So the dude is an alpha wide receiver, a big end zone target. Unfortunately, he's not very good against zone. 52nd percentile for zone, but 87th percentile against press coverage and 72nd percentile against man. Again, that's Matt Harmon, dude. He charts wide receiver success rates versus different coverages. Here's the problem. I have to say this. Everyone is expecting the Bears to be a much more improved offense. So we're expecting them to take a step forward. He's the quarterback whisperer, the offense guru. He's bringing that Detroit Lions style. It could be. They have a lot of talent, right? They're littered with talent all over the place. Loveland, DJ Moore, Odunze. Okay, Swift and Roshan are not like Gibbs and Monty. It's like your crackhead Dollar Tree version of those two guys, but similar archetype players, right? You have your receiving back, and then you have your power back and Roshan. Even Manungai, maybe stealing the job from one of them. What if they're still bad? What if Ben Johnson doesn't turn around? What if Caleb Williams remains a pocket dancer, or he doesn't take what the defense gives him? He's forcing throws. He's just not like moving the offense fluidly. Now, in the preseason, we saw that he was looking good. He was looking calm. He was making big-time throws. Odunze gets the touchdown in the preseason when it was the starters. So I think in the middle rounds, he's very intriguing. He is a little bit risky because what if this offense doesn't take a step forward? But that's what middle round picks are, right? It's usually someone who was maybe down the previous season and we're expecting them to be better, or they were good but they're older, right? Think about like Calvin Ridley, think about Jerry Jeudy, think about Jalen Waddle. These are your guys in that range. I think Odunze is the clear one you pick out of all of them. Second year wide receiver, all the green flags in terms of volume in his rookie season. He just didn't have the production to show for it. I think the production will be there. I think Ben Johnson's somebody that we can believe in. That brings us to the next player. It's Chuba Hubbard, first and only running back on this list. I honestly don't understand the Chuba Hubbard disrespect, dude. He was an absolute dog last year, outperformed all expectations. He was the heart and soul of this offense. Finished as RB13 on the season, but he had 16.1 fantasy points per game in the games that he played. So let's keep that in mind, man. Games played, right? We're looking at averages. People get injured. If you look at the total season finishes, like RB13 as a finish, that's not that important for us, man. We want to know the per game stuff. He had 3 absolute dud games. If you guys look here at his game log, week 1, and you can even make the case for week 2, right? He wasn't really the full-time starter. He went 10 for 64. He had 5 targets, 4 receptions, but poor production overall. And then he had another dud game. If we look at Chuba Hubbard's game log here, we see that week 1, absolute dud. Barely played any snaps. They got absolutely trounced by New Orleans. I don't know how the fuck that happened. Week 2, also not very good. He wasn't really the full-time starter. He did get a lot more work, though, and he was actually pretty good with the work that he got. And then we see a couple more duds, man. Week 13 and week 15, some dud games where the offense just was bad. Nevertheless, every other game outside of that, he was an absolute starting caliber running back, was helping us. 27 fantasy points, 22, 17, 15, 21, 24, 15. Like, he was just an absolute beast, dude. Chuba Hubbard all year was an absolute dog. Let's look at the NFC ADP. 49 on NFC ADP, 46 on ESPN, 46 on Sleeper, 52 on NFL. He's about even. The experts and us casuals, we're all kind of drafting him in the same range, right? 46 to 52 type shit. And as I mentioned, man, in 2024, 6 games over 20 PPR fantasy points. He was an absolute league winner. If you got him in the 9th round or you got him on waivers after week 1, the way I did, he helped us win fantasy leagues. And now I'm a fan of a good chart. This chart makes Chuba Hubbard look great. On the x-axis, rushing yards over expected per carry. Yards after contact here on the y-axis. We see Chuba Hubbard here right next to Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, if you're next to Jahmyr Gibbs on any chart, it's probably a good thing. Just, a little side note, dude. Tank Bigsby, what a beast. Bucky Irving breaks the chart. Derrick Henry breaks the chart. Saquon, Jordan Mason. Chuba Hubbard, dude, in good company. Over 1 rushing yard, over expected per carry. And, yards after contact, he's about middle of the pack, but that's fine, dude. We like the rushing yards over expected. That means he's making more out of less. I mean, maybe the O-line's not blocking as well. Maybe there's not as much of a developing play, but he's still getting good yardage over what's expected of him. So we love that. I'll just show you guys one more thing, man. 6 running backs had over 80% of a team's rushing yards last season. Jonathan Taylor, a 94. Jonathan Taylor's insane, dude. What a workhorse. Derrick Henry at 86%. Chuba Hubbard at 85% of his total team's rushing yards last season, or over 80%, man. So Kyron Williams, and then Saquon, and then I don't know how DeAndre Swift is there, man. Ignore that shit, dude. So Chuba Hubbard is kind of him, man. Chuba Hubbard, I think he's being disrespected. He's going to be the workhorse. Rico Dowdle just doesn't really worry me very much on this team. I think it's going to be Chuba Hubbard. He's the heart and soul of this team. He's given the speeches to the team, bro. He's going to be a captain on this team, I'm pretty sure. The offense should be better. So I think we can expect less of these like super bad dud two fantasy point games, right? Which is just going to elevate his averages. It's going to make him a safer play. I love him. You can get him in the 4th, 5th round sometimes. And the fact that he's a starting running back on an ascending offense and in a vacuum, he's very talented. I'm in on Chuba Hubbard. I drafted him. I have to be in on him. So that's the video, man. 4 players I'm staking my season on. If you enjoyed it, man, if you got any type of value, if you had a laugh, the best way to show support, man, like it, comment down below. Helps the video reach more people. You know how you guys know the whole thing with YouTube. And we're going to be doing some rankings videos. We're going to be doing some week 1 content real soon, man. It's Sunday, so we're going to be pumping out week 1 stuff very soon. But that does it for this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.